Okay, is it recording? Yes, it is recording. Welcome back, Jewels and Gems. I am here. I told you guys on my last live that I did. I look so crazy. I look like Lupita from Us. I told you guys on my last live that I did that I was going to start doing book reviews. Now, if nobody watches them, I'm still going to post it. Only because once I finish the series, I can't guarantee that I'm going to remember every single last feeling that I had throughout the series. I'm currently on the second of 19 books of James Patterson's Women's Murder Club. The first book I have, I'm driving, guys, so just bear with me. I have this book right here. I'm about to return to the library. And it is The First to Die, which is the first book in the series. Now with me, I only get to read when I'm at work. When I get off work, I normally try to cook and stuff like that. Hold on. Because it's really cold today. I don't want to have no fever blisters or nothing. So, with me, I really try to only read at work because when I get off of work, that's my time to relax. Like, just chill, vibe on my phone, things like that. You know, I don't really too much want to be. Sometimes I read at home, but not a lot. So, I just don't want to be caught up in the, oh my God. And I just be wanting to just like woosah for the day. So, when I first started reading James Patterson's books, the first book I read was Honeymoon, Second Honeymoon, the House Next Door, and then The First to Die. So I thought Honeymoon was a series, but it actually is a individual book of its own, and he just so happened to make a collaborative book, which was Second Honeymoon. But this is a purposeful series. It's the women's, guys can't see it, but you see where it say Women's Club series. This is about originally two women who are both on this case. Technically, one is not on the case. She is just a reporter who's trying to get the scoop about this case because she is trying to become escalated in her career at the Chronicle. And her name is Cindy. And then there is a assigned inspector, also known as a detective, for the case. And it is a bride and groom murder situation where a person is going around killing brides and grooms right after as soon as they say I do, they're getting offed. So the detective was on the case. Now her partner, which is, I'm gonna say it wrong, I just always called him Jacob, with her old partner Jacob with the I at the end, Jacoby. Girl, I'm not good at pronunciations of weird names, and I have a very weird name. And so basically, fast forward, right? He's put off to another case, and they're not working together. So she's assigned another person to come along and help her. He is not a detective. He is not an inspector. He is actually working for the city. I forgot exactly what he was doing before this, and he's just supposed to help Leon. He's I'm gonna say it wrong. What the fuck ever it's called. I forgot. And basically he swoops in, he helps her, and the guy that's the new partner, his name is I was pronouncing it Riley because it's the same way it's spelled the same way Raleigh, North Carolina is. Some people will call him Raja. First of all, I just say Riley because that's the way. Every time I see that spelling, I think of Raleigh, North Carolina, so I just was calling him Riley. So he swoops in. He's her new partner for this string of cases that keep happening all across. It started off in just San Francisco, and it keeps going. So throughout this book, I found myself having to start writing down things because I wanted to crack the case before we even got to who really did it. Now, halfway through, I realized who the killer was. But then James Patterson does this thing where he makes you think it's somebody else for a split second and you doubt yourself. So I didn't necessarily give up hope that it was that person. But in my little notes, I wrote out, I was like, possibly, I forgot her name, who ended up was the killer. I was like, possibly such and such or such and such. So he makes you think that it's one person, and then he presents all this new evidence that lets you know, like, it couldn't possibly have been him. Like, it couldn't possibly. And then he's like, boom. And then you're like, oh, girl, I knew it from the get-go. Like, you know, but I personally love his books because I try to solve the murder before we even get to any evidence. Because a lot of foreshadow happened. You likely, you're a police officer. I mean, you are a city employee. Why would you do that? And so I personally have a thing for trying to solve the case. I want to solve it before we even get to the last couple chapters where you're telling us the truth. So I found myself getting on a really big high. Now lately, I was being able to finish his books within like a week, and I have not been able to do that because I told you guys I only read at work, and it's been Christmas season and stuff like that, and it's really picked up a lot, so I don't get a lot of downtime at work as I used to. But given I really supposed to be doing work at work and not reading at work, but it's better for me to read than to sit around and fake like I'm doing something. So that's how I initially found myself reading his books, because they don't know how to park. They don't know how to park, because that could have been a nice parking spot, but somebody doesn't know how to park. So now I gotta back up. I gotta get bust a UE and pull out. None of these people know how to park. Oh my freaking God, y'all suck. Everybody on this side know how to park. Y'all on that side don't know how to park. Like, Jesus Louises. And so I'm coming to the library to return the book, and I'm actually on the third book, which is, I'm on the second book, which is The Second Eye. Now, this book takes you through how it goes from just Cindy and, is it Lisa? Girl, I don't know how to pronounce her name either. Lindsay? I think it's Lindsay. Girl, I tell you, I'm so bad at pronouncing simple names. Girl, I'm so sorry. I think it's Lindsay. Lindsay and Cindy turn into Lindy, Cindy, Claire. Claire is a MD, which is a medical examiner. She's a medical examiner who is a longtime friend of Lindsay, and she tags along into this book. And then now this was Lindsay's idea to add her to the group, because Lindsay has a medical condition that she wanted to tell her about, and she ended up just inviting Cindy, and she never told Claire about the medical condition. She told her about her idea to start doing an internal investigation between the friends. So Lindsay would get the actual scoop of what's going on the case. Cindy would get the reporter scoop and, reporting ideas and things that she could pull up through old, articles that the Chronicles written and stuff like that. And then the ME would get the bio, of what she's, DNA she's found, stuff like that. And they would come together to bring their ideas and their thoughts about who's behind it together. And then last but not least, who was added after, I think 1 or 2 murders already had happened, her name is Jill. Jill is a district attorney, Black Girl Power. All these girls, from what I'm thinking, at first I thought the only black girl was Claire, because she mentions that she's black and her husband's black. But after watching other reviews, I found out that they're all black. These are not black names, and they don't have black characteristics. But James Patterson said they're black, so they're black. Alrighty then. So they all come together to end up solving the murder, which they thought they solved. And then at the very, very, very last epilogue, after the book is over with, we find out that there was also another person who was involved. And they never knew that until after they had already gotten the killer. So this book is actually pretty good. I am going to finish out all 19 books. I started this in 2019. Today is January the 6th, 2020. So this book series started so long ago, before like I was even probably in middle school or high school. No, probably before I was in elementary, actually. And he just released back in 2019 or 18, the 19th something. I don't remember what it was. But I'm going to try to get through all these books for you guys and see where it goes, see where it leads me. And I'm just going to keep posting how I feel about these books, because at the end, I want to be like, oh my God. But I completely fell in love with this book. At first, it was a slow read. It was a slow read because I was like, come on, girl, pick up the pace. I cannot. Normally, I finished one of his books in a week. I couldn't. It took me a month to finish this book. This was a really slow read at first. And then once I got about, I'd say maybe chapter 40, chapter 30-ish, like somewhere like this. This is the beginning of the book. Somewhere like this, and you got that one nice little clue about the last murder was what really got the book sped up. Like beforehand, it was a slow read. It was really slow read. I'm so serious when I say that. But the last one got me going. It really got me like, and I finished it in a week after we got to chapter 40. But beforehand, it took me a month to get to chapter 30. I promise to God. I read one chapter a day and I put it back. And his chapters are this big, you guys. Like, they're a couple pages, maybe 1 or 2 pages. I like large print. So a lot of times the chapters are about 1, 2 pages. But this was a regular size print. So the chapters are literally only 1 page, 2 pages at the most. But, yep, guys, that's just my opinion about it. I'm about to go drop this book off and get going. So, thank you. And until next time, Jewels and Gems, like I always say, it's Lupita in this bitch. No, I don't always say that. But, fresh hairdo, this is my first real video after I cut my hair. And we're going to watch as my sensation for reading grows and my hair grows. So, until next time, Jewels and Gems, peace.